I can't believe y'all lied to Caitlin Clark and used her like this.
It looked like the fans is sick and tired of Stephanie White and this damn motion offense.
Caitlin Clark has been used and lied to. Y'all used her to sell all these tickets. Y'all used her to sell all this merchandise and to make all this money. And then y'all did not put the right coach or team around her.
I mean this when I say this. Fire Stephanie White yesterday. Caitlin Clark has lost her smile. She's lost her smile. You can tell she's not having fun playing basketball.
0 times they tried to get Caitlin Clark an open look. The best looks she had yesterday were one-on-one, coming downhill, taking her defender off the dribble, just being quicker.
We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part, we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do. And
they said she was the future. They said they had a plan. They looked Caitlin Clark in the eyes and promised her greatness, a system built around her, a team ready to win.
Y'all sold her a bill of goods. This coach claimed she had been watching her for 5 years and she loved her style of play. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. This organization sold her a bullcrap bill of goods, saying that we're playing to win now.
But now, only weeks into her rookie season, the truth is out, and it's ugly. Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, didn't just fail her, she fooled her.
Especially because some of them are reactions at the time, right after the game. So, I mean this when I say this. Fire Stephanie White yesterday.
And what's worse, she fooled all of us too. This isn't just a coaching problem anymore. It's a full-blown betrayal.
Caitlin Clark has been used and lied to. Y'all used her to sell all these tickets. Y'all used her to sell all this merchandise and to make all this money. And then y'all did not put the right coach or team around her.
Today, we're exposing exactly how Caitlin Clark got scammed and why Stephanie White should be out the door immediately.
Caitlin Clark has lost her smile. She's lost her smile. You can tell she's not having fun playing basketball.
From the very beginning, Caitlin Clark was promised something special. The Indiana Fever organization, and especially Stephanie White, sold her a vision of fast-paced, aggressive basketball, a team that would run, stretch the floor, and lean into Clark's playmaking genius. She didn't just believe that vision, she committed to it. She gave this franchise her name, her brand, her energy. But what did she get in return? A roster filled with aging veterans who can't keep up, and a coach stuck in a slow, outdated system that looks nothing like what was promised.
This organization sold her a bullcrap bill of goods, saying that we're playing to win now. We're leaning into playing fast Fever basketball. And what did they do? They went and got Natasha Howard in her 19th season who can barely move. They went and got DeWanna Bonner, who's in her 97th WNBA season, who's not even with the team anymore and collecting $200,000. She's not even with the team. We don't know where she is. We hope everything's okay, but we need all hands on deck as well. It'd be nice if she show up to work. I don't know what's going on. She removed all the Fever stuff from her, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Caitlin Clark has been used and lied to. Y'all used her to sell all these tickets. Y'all used her to sell all this merchandise and to make all this money, and then y'all did not put the right coach or team around her.
The truth is, it was all smoke and mirrors. Clark was told she'd be the centerpiece, yet she's barely even featured in the offense. She was told the team was built to win now, but from the rotations to the system itself, nothing supports that claim. Every night she steps onto that court, it's like she's fighting two battles, one against the other team and one against her own coaching staff. And all of it, every missed opportunity, every broken play reflects a promise that was never meant to be kept.
Because the offensive system sucks, because you don't go to what works, and you run this motion offense where Caitlin Clark is iced out, running around, and she's not actually getting the ball. She's not actually going one-on-one. She's not actually running a pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, which is not allowing Aaliyah Boston to get hot, so Aaliyah Boston isn't scoring 20 points either. It's just sucky. It sucks how this team is playing right now.
It's becoming painfully clear that Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White are playing two different games. Clark wants tempo, movement, freedom, the kind of system where her passing and range can thrive. But Stephanie White, she's dragging this team backward. Instead of pushing the pace, she's slowing it down. Instead of setting up Clark to lead, she's turning her into a bystander in her own offense. And it's not just fans seeing this. Clark herself has said it out loud. She admitted she's been conceding to the coach's system, even when she knows it isn't working. That's not collaboration, that's suppression.
And let's take a listen to what Caitlin Clark said. And she essentially exposed that Stephanie White wants him to play slow.
I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to
It's on me not conceding.
play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and you know, that wasn't why we lost.
Like, she literally was like, oh, what the coach wanted us to do wasn't why we lost. I'm conceding. I was conceding by not playing fast. What is she saying? Like, this is the most damning thing I've heard Caitlin Clark say. This is the most damning thing I've heard Caitlin Clark. She didn't even say this about Christy Sides. This is damning. She's saying that she needs to stop conceding and play fast, and that doing what the coach wanted them to do was not why they lost.
What's worse is watching Clark try to adapt while the team falls apart around her. There are no design plays to get her open looks, no structure that plays to her strengths. She's being left on an island, expected to carry the weight of a franchise while playing in a system built to hold her back. The frustration is written all over her face. You can see it in the pressers, you can see it in her body language, and you can hear it in every vague, carefully worded answer she gives. She's trying to be professional, but it's obvious she knows the system is broken.
Ask me how many plays they set designed to get Caitlin Clark an open look. Go ahead, ask me. 2? No. 6? Good guess, but wrong. 9? No, incorrect. 0. 0 plays run to get Caitlin Clark open. They did a double drag screen. That was the phrase of the day. They did a few double drag screens, never to get Caitlin Clark open, always to get Natasha Howard into a different action off-ball screening for either Alexi Hall or Sophie Cunningham or Kelsey Mitchell, and always for Aaliyah Boston to just do her little skinny move and slip down for a layup. 0 times they tried to get Caitlin Clark an open look. The best looks she had yesterday were one-on-one, coming downhill, taking her defender off the dribble, just being quicker.
What's happening on the court isn't just a difference in coaching philosophy, it's a fundamental clash between vision and reality. Caitlin Clark was brought into the league as a once-in-a-generation player. Her entire college career was built on speed, intelligence, and an unmatched ability to create offense out of nothing. She thrived in chaos, dictated tempo, and made everyone around her better. And that's exactly what she expected to bring to the Indiana Fever. But what she walked into was the complete opposite, a system that not only ignores her strengths, but actively dulls them.
Fire Stephanie White yesterday. Like, fire her yesterday. And the reason why is not that Stephanie White is a bad basketball coach. It's not that Stephanie White is a bad motivational speaker. It's not that Stephanie White has done a bad job defending her players. It's not any of that. It's that Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark fundamentally have different understandings of the sport of basketball. Not even different understandings. What Stephanie White wants to do is not going to work for this team. It is not going to work for this team. What Stephanie White wants to do will not work. And by the way, I'm not saying what Stephanie White wants to do is won't work in general. Won't work in general. Because it has worked. She's had success. But I'm saying what Stephanie White wants to do will not work for this team specifically.
Stephanie White has made it clear she prefers a slow, half-court, grinded-out style. It's outdated, predictable, and painfully limiting, and the results speak for themselves. On nights where the team is getting blown out, Clark is stuck running motion plays that go nowhere. No ball screens, no pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, no early offense in transition, just slow-paced sets that force Clark to hand the ball off, disappear into the corner, and wait until there are 6 seconds left on the shot clock to even get it back. That's not strategy, that's sabotage.
because the offensive system sucks, because you don't go to what works and you run this motion offense where Caitlin Clark is iced out, running around, and she's not actually getting the ball. She's not actually going one-on-one. She's not actually running a pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, which is not allowing Aaliyah Boston to get hot. So Aaliyah Boston isn't scoring 20 points either. It's just sucky. It sucks how this team is playing right now. Nobody really is playing the role that they play best. Kelsey Mitchell is best when she's playing off ball, catch and shoot, cut back door, easy layups. She's not even doing much of that these days. She's just shooting it off the dribble. Caitlin Clark is best with the ball in her hands, off a pick and roll, finding Aaliyah Boston on the short roll, or just going to work dancing at the top of the key. You're not even seeing much of that. You're seeing Caitlin Clark get the ball with 8 seconds left on the shot clock because she brought it up the court, but then gave it to Sydney Colson at the 17-second mark. Why did you give it to Sydney Colson for her to run around and then you get the ball back? What? Aaliyah Boston obviously isn't able to do what she wants to do, because to do what she wants to do, she needs to be setting a screen for Caitlin Clark. Off that screen, 2 defenders go with Caitlin. She gets open lanes, open mid-range shots. You're not even going to that for the most of the game. Like early on in this game, you had a stretch where the Indiana Fever continuously went to the Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark pick and roll. But even when they were going to it, there were plays in between where they weren't. Why is there ever a play where we're not setting a screen for Caitlin Clark by Aaliyah Boston? Why would you ever do that when it's such a cheat code?
Even worse, there seems to be no real effort from the coaching staff to make adjustments. Clark has said in interviews that she needs to stop conceding, that the team still has to play fast. She's practically begging for the offense to change, and yet nothing does. No matter how poorly the game goes, Stephanie White keeps doubling down on the same broken system. Meanwhile, Clark, the most valuable player on the court, is left trying to pick up the pieces, forced to work harder for every shot, every pass, every opportunity. It's demoralizing to watch, and it's heartbreaking to imagine what it must feel like to live through.
All her staff has to do is stop telling Cece to walk the ball up and everything will be fixed. But as long as they want to play a half-court game, they will keep losing, just as with sides last year. Stephanie White has been a disappointment. Exactly right, Steph. Play fast. Keep her shooting. Don't stop the momentum when they get up 10. Minus call a timeout for the rest. But don't put in your subs and lose your lead. You're hurting your own players. Clueless. I think Clark has too much respect for White, and I think she used to have too much respect for White. Caitlin Clark shows up for work every single day. Caitlin Clark shows up to work. She spends the most time in that facility, in that gym. While this player's taking off, while that player's taking off, while this coach is taking off, while that coach is taking off, while this coach is disappearing, while that coach is disappearing. Yeah, I would lose respect for my boss too.
This isn't about growing pains. It's not about adjusting to the league. This is about a star being boxed into a system that was never meant to elevate her, a system that's slowly draining the joy out of her game. The Caitlin Clark we're seeing now is not the same player we watched dominate the NCAA. She's lost that spark, that freedom, that swagger. And the blame doesn't fall on her shoulders. It falls squarely on the coaching decisions being made every single night.
Caitlin Clark has lost her smile. She's lost her smile. You can tell she's not having fun playing basketball. And you can tell she was having fun playing basketball.
0 times they tried to get Caitlin Clark an open look. The best looks she had yesterday were one-on-one, coming downhill, taking her defender off the dribble, just being quicker and finishing at the rim.
At this point, calling it a misunderstanding between player and coach would be generous. This feels intentional. This feels personal. Caitlin Clark wasn't just misused, she was set up to fail. A player of her caliber doesn't suddenly struggle unless the system around her is broken on purpose. And when you look at the decisions being made, the outdated plays, the mismatched lineups, the refusal to adapt, it's hard not to wonder if this is more than just incompetence. It's sabotage disguised as strategy.
Stephanie White takes no accountability in these post games. She makes every excuse. She'll glaze the other team, and then she is yet to say, hey, I have to be better. I have to get our players ready as a coach. I need to do this. I need to do that. She never does that. She passes the buck every single time. Stephanie White is taking no accountability for any of this in any of these post-game press conferences, and it is disgusting, and I am tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, bro. Like, Fever fans, we've had enough. We're fed up. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is just sad. It's ridiculous. And Caitlin Clark deserves better. If you go to Europe, I'll go watch over there. I mean, this is ridiculous at this point, man. The officiating's horrible. The coach is a joke. She claims she's been watching all these years and doesn't even know how to put a system together.
Look at the players Clark has been surrounded with. Veterans way past their prime. Role players with no clear role. Backups who wouldn't make a roster anywhere else in the league. These aren't just bad roster moves, they're the opposite of what she was promised. She was told the team was ready to win now. Instead, she got a lineup of slow, mismatched, and unmotivated pieces that can't keep up with her style. It's not that Clark can't lead, it's that she was never given anything to lead.
They are the worst additions you could have possibly added to this team. Players who have no interior defense, who are old and slow. Why do we add them to the team? This Fever team is not too promising, and there are times where they feel worse than last year. There were times last year where this team was 10 times more exciting than they are right now. At the end of last year, that team was 10 times better than what we see from the Indiana Fever right now. And it's a shame because, yeah, Caitlin Clark did have a bad game today, and she can have a better game, and if she does, then you can probably win some of these games.
Even the game plans seem designed to hold her back. The team ignores what works. When Clark runs a successful pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, it's abandoned the next play. When she starts to heat up, she gets pulled. The moments where the Fever look like a real team, fast, fluid, dangerous, are always short-lived. Because as soon as things start to click, the coaching philosophy kicks back in and everything stalls. It's a pattern. And it's damaging more than just their record, it's damaging Caitlin's confidence.
Have a high ball screen with Caitlin Clark and somebody every single possession. It was working so well in the first half. So how come we totally went away from it in the second half? Was it because of the couple turnovers Caitlin Clark got? She might have had maybe 2-3 turnovers in a stretch in the game when they were trying to go to Aaliyah Boston. So does that justify you not going to what got her 6-7 assists in the first quarter? No, it doesn't. You go to it every single possession because it works. I kept saying it in the live stream today, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So how come every single time the Indiana Fever have something that's working, whether it might be the pick and roll like it was in this game, whether it be running the floor like it was in this game, because early on they were faster than they were later on in this game. They always have things that are working. They always have players who are hot that they don't go to. Like Caitlin Clark might have 9 points in a 38-second stretch, and then you'll see them come out in the next quarter and not give her the basketball. You'll see them bench her. Why do we do this? When you have momentum, when you have a lead, you need to continue doing that, and that's going to win you the game. Obviously, the other team is going to adjust, but when the other team adjusts, that does not mean you totally stop attacking the flaw that the other team has on defense.
And the most painful part, she's still giving it everything. Clark is showing up, grinding, trying to lead through the mess. She's still racking up assists, still creating chances, still playing like someone who believes the situation can turn around. But how long can she keep doing that while her coach keeps dragging her down? How long before that trust is completely gone? How long before the best player this franchise has ever had decides it's not worth saving anymore? This isn't just a bad fit, it's a slow destruction of everything Caitlin Clark was supposed to bring to this league. And if the Fever can't see that, they don't deserve her.
Caitlin Clark deserves better. If you go to Europe, I'll go watch over there. I mean, this is ridiculous at this point, man. The officiating's horrible. The coach is a joke. She claims she's been watching all these years and doesn't even know how to put a system together that caters to her style of play. This organization went and got a bunch of 40-year-olds talking about we're ready to win now. Like, come on, man. This is a joke. This is a joke, man.
Caitlin Clark deserved better. She deserved a system built around her talent, a coach who believed in her game, and a franchise that backed up its promises with real action. Instead, she got misled, used, and left to carry the weight of a team that's failing her at every level. Stephanie White didn't just make bad decisions. She made decisions that actively hurt her star player and set this franchise back. The truth is, this isn't a growing pain, it's a crisis.
Caitlin Clark has been used and lied to. Y'all used her to sell all these tickets. Y'all used her to sell all this merchandise and to make all this money. And then y'all did not put the right coach or team around her. Even through all of the nonsense, she's still leading the league in assists. She's still giving you about 20 and 9, 20 and 10, 6 rebounds, 7 she's still giving you that. Even though she was sold a bill of goods, it's sad to see what this team has done to Caitlin Clark, man. Caitlin's the victim here. Oh, she's the victim here.
It sucks how this team is playing right now. Nobody really is playing the role that they play best. Kelsey Mitchell is best when she's playing off ball, catch and shoot, cut back door, easy layups. She's not even doing much of that these days. She's just shooting it off the dribble.
And if the Indiana Fever want to fix this before it's too late, it starts at the top. The longer Stephanie White stays, the deeper this damage goes. It's time for accountability. It's time for change. And most of all, it's time to stop wasting Caitlin Clark's prime before it even begins.
And I hope that something changes. But unless something changes, the Fever need to make a decision. They need to make a couple of decisions. They need to bench Caitlin Clark. They need to choose. First of all, they need to choose Stephanie White or Caitlin Clark.
At some point, you just say, man, maybe we need to move on because all of this unluckiness, I can't tolerate it being the HBIC, as New York would say, for the 90s babies. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Let me know what you think. Was this all a scam from the start? Should Stephanie White be fired immediately? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this. We're not done holding them accountable.